Please welcome Mike Aguilero.
Boom. Hey, welcome, everybody. Super excited to have you with me this evening. Let me get a little dialed in here real quick. If you guys could, if you hear me good, can you give me a big boom in the chat bar, please? Give me a big boom. Awesome. Looks like everybody knows how to use the chat bar here. Hey, and those of you not on camera, do me a favor if you can. You either need to be on camera or you need to tell my team in the chat bar, like, hey, I'm sick, I got the flu, or I'm throwing up on myself. I told a lot of people what I was going to do with this training was not going to just let people sit off camera while I deliver a lot of information to you guys. So I think if that sounds fair, can you type in fair in the chat bar? Can you say if that's fair? Because I figure if I'm going to unleash on you what I've done, and I want to check in how many of you know me versus don't know me. So if you know me, can you go in the chat bar and type in like how long do you know me? How long have you been in Food Dog's world or my world? So I get a quick little gut check. Could you do that for me? And if you're new, can you just type in new? Would that be cool if you type in new in the chat bar? 18 years, 2.5 years, know about me several months, new. Hey, all of you that are new, I'm super excited that you're here. I'll save you a little something if you're new. If you don't like tattooed people, this is probably not going to go too well, too quick. The other thing is, when I get wound up, and I'm pretty wound up now, because one, I'm in Orlando. Is anybody else in Orlando? Type in Orlando. I've been out here a week and a half. I've spent the last couple of days with a brilliant friend of mine and marketer, Dean Jackson. So that got me all cranked up. I just did open access with our clients where for an hour and a half, we solved every problem that anybody has on life, business, and wealth. We do that every week. And now I'm with you for Sales Mania. And then when I end with you tonight, which will go over an hour, so, and I don't know, the latest will go 90 minutes. So I'm hoping you got a little bit of muscles for me here. And then tomorrow at 9:30, the doors open and we're running something called Boardroom in Orlando. Is anybody coming to Boardroom? Type in Boardroom. And that's where I'm giving a complete full day. Okay. Oh, hey, Carrie. Yeah. Hey, a whole bunch of you. Nice to see you, Stephanie. I'm giving a whole day tomorrow. And if any of you want to last minute get on a flight or drive here, I think it's pretty rare. I don't know anybody else who is giving a full day for free, feeding them, and going to answer any question in detail to solve right here's good, your biggest, thank you, your biggest problems, issues, what's keeping you from scaling. And for those of you that are new, hopefully you did a little bit of research on me. But if you didn't, let me share a couple pictures, if nothing else, to make a point on maybe why I've earned the right to talk about sales a little bit. Okay. This is called Sales Mania. That's my company. I sold that company in 2017. I had 165 trucks, so we couldn't fit them in the parking lot. I had 200 employees. We did 32 million a year, double digit profit. And then I sold in 2017. So we were what I would consider the empire in New Jersey. Is anybody else from New Jersey? Type in Jersey Strong or something, which a lot of people, I will share with you. I'm going to talk Jersey fast. So if you can't handle that, you might have to see if we share the replay. I don't know if we will. We normally charge for the replay, give it free for those of you that, took your time to show up. And then I've also, in my past, I have built another company. If any of you know it, type in CEO. I created a company called CEO Warrior, and I coached over 1,000 business owners. I had over 20,000 tradespeople come through my training. And since the last 4 years, over 90 of those companies that I helped scale, grow, and improve, 90 of them sold their companies. Probably some people on this training have sold their companies. And I believe I created more decamillionaires on the planet than anybody. Let me set a stage for something for all of you. The one thing, if you're here to learn about sales objections, that's not what I'm going to talk a lot about. That sales objection, if you want to write a note, means you're way too late. So we're not going to talk about being too late. And the other thing is, I'm not going to give you a way to trick a customer into buying. So I'm not going to give you fancy phrases. I'm not going to teach you how to throw fairy dust in someone's eyes. I'm not going to teach you manipulation. I'm not mocking it. If that's your thing, I have a ton of friends and gurus in the space. I would be glad to give you their business card and they'll be glad to take your money. I believe in a process of teaching people in a way that you could still kiss your kids goodnight. And when my kids are around, my son is on here. He's 25 and he's our top coach and leader. He's helped create Decamillionaires himself. And still, if he's in our house, I still kiss him goodnight in his big ass beard, and he's bigger than me. And my daughter, who's here in Orlando, she's going to be 23 next month. I still go over there and knock on her door and kiss her goodnight. And I feel good about it that I did not take advantage of people and manipulate people. So if you're all in on learning theories tonight and maybe just setting aside everything you've learned, can you just give me a big boom in the chat bar? Because that's real important to me. Those of you that do want to try to sneak in to Orlando tomorrow, if you're willing to get on a flight or drive here, doors open 9:30. We're going to go to 6. And this is a really special boardroom because not only will we solve it, the guy who's letting me use his space, he's one of the top doctors. Jacob, check this out. He's one of the top doctors in helping solve anxiety, depression, addiction. And I will tell you, I'm pretty amazed on the process and results. And he's going to give us a tour of his building. Who just thinks that's cool? Even if you're not coming, type in cool in the chat bar. Isn't that cool? And I'm going to interview him a little bit because I believe anybody that's helping people in the world, and you don't have to say it's you, but I bet you probably know somebody that's dealing with addiction or shames or guilts or traumas. If that's true, type in true. It doesn't mean it's you. It just means that the world's dealing with this. So that's going to be the added bonus. So if you want to pop in tomorrow, you just let our team know. Team, stick an email in there or something. And those of you that are coming, I promise it's going to be a magical day together. Okay. Now, as we dig into this, why don't you guys tell me real quick, what industry are you in and where do you live, so that I can make sure as I'm communicating with you, I got the best feel tonight for who's on here. And you guys take a look who's in here too. The nice thing about what I do today is I'm not a best practice organization. That's what I sold in 2020. I am what I look at Food Dog. And if you don't know, I was surprised. I shared with somebody what a Food Dog is, and they were like, thank you for telling me. I didn't even know what it is. Let me show you what a Food Dog is. And then after you see it, you could tell me if you recognize it. I'll share it with one of our proprietary diagrams that changes lives. It's called our Parthenon. And so this is our Parthenon. But if you look here, you see this, this mystical lion dog? That's a food dog, and there's a male and female. So when you hear the term food dog, now you have a reference to it. This is the male one over here. Now you have a reference to what a food dog is. Now that you see it, have you seen food dogs before? Type in food dog or just put in dog if you want. I'm curious because most people don't even recognize it until I show them, and then they go, yeah, of course, I've seen them all over the place. So that's what a food dog is. And as we dig in, so you can see all the industries. Now, what Food Dog does is we're a force multiplier. That's what we are. We focus on life, business, and wealth by design. Because if you don't do life, business, and wealth by design, what is it by? Type it in the chat bar if you know. If it's not by design, it's by what? It's by default. Someone said luck, it's by default. And if anything I've learned now, and trust me, I am not one of these people speaking to you. Everything's been roses. I have no silver spoon. I've been on my own since I'm 15 years old. So I don't have a silver spoon. My parents didn't pay for anything. It's not like I've been on my own since I'm 15. I've been with my beautiful wife, Jen, on here. It's going to be 40 years. We're heading into 40 years. Can you give me a boom for that? She's tolerated me for 40 years, everybody. And yes, I tolerated her, I'm sure too. And since we're 15 years old, we're together. And what we've learned is through every mistake and every issue and every problem we've had, we learned how to not do it, learn from it, and then share with people how to move faster. And that's why I'm here tonight, is because I want to solve some of your biggest situations with sales to help you move faster and also help you understand why some people struggle so much with it. And a lot of people do struggle with sales because it has this, well, let's see this. How many of you had a dad and you dreaded, like, if he had to buy something from well, I guess I'm showing my age. I'm level 54. What level are you, if you want to share? I'm level 54. I don't know why anybody would ever say they're 54 years old. I'm stronger, faster, tougher, quicker thinking than ever in life. I'm reversing my age. I'm beating it by a half a decade right now. But you had a dad who, God forbid, if someone came to the door and tried to sell vacuums. I'm from that day. Anybody else? Type in Hoover, right? What was it? The Hoover vacuum. And I swear my dad would, big Italian guy, 350 pounds, normally answered the door with no shirt on, hairy as heck. I guess I got that. And a big gold cross on, and would answer the door. And I think he would drool because the Hoover vacuum guy wanted to sell him something. And all he wanted to do was beat this guy and know that he could tell all his friends that Hoover guy, like, he got the best out of him. Did anybody ever experience that? Or, oh, Kirby vacuum. There you go, Steven. And if you had to buy a car with them, oh my goodness, forget it. And what this did was, for a lot of you, I'm guessing, it either taught you, like your dad, how to sell snow to an Eskimo. You've heard that phrase before, right? Or it gave you something like sales trauma, right? It gave you sales trauma. And sales trauma, I believe, is what's holding most people back from selling. And let me share, like, when you were a kid, and I want to share something that was a huge paradigm shift for me when I figured it out. And I worked really hard. In a minute, I'm going to tell you what I worked hard on. But as I'm sharing things, if something resonates with you, okay, and something triggers for you, I want you just to write ka-ching in the chat bar. I want to know that you have a mental shift. Can we do that? Type in ka-ching. And the reason why I'm doing that, and a lot of you that been in my world for, some of you on here been in my world for over a decade, and I've been honored to have you. The reason why we do ka-ching is because if you know the theory, I didn't bring the, you know what, Morgan, I don't know. I didn't see the money buttons in the Tupperware. That's weird. I got to look tomorrow. I didn't see the money button. Kevin Axtell, my man. Nice to see you. We got the #1 firewalking trainer in the world is on here. Say, what's up, Fire, in the chat bar. And so Pavlov's dog is, you ring the bell and the dog salivates. The dog salivates. So the reason why I have you put in ka-ching is, unlike most people, that are teaching and they just want to teach you something. I don't want to teach you anything. I want you to have a breakthrough. I want you, this is built for you to have a transformation, a permanent shift in thinking that makes you never think that way again. And when we accomplish that, when we're done tonight, you're gonna have a new level of program in your mind, and that's gonna reward you and everybody that you're around. But we have this, right? We have this selling that happens where people fight against it. And really, I believe is because when you were born and you were a baby, your parents, when you were a baby, the baby didn't say, yeah, I'll come to you, sell me. That happens later when they grow up, right? Go clean your room. You're going to pay me, right? But in the beginning, the baby is born and just wants to serve, right? The baby brings you the ball or brings you something. And guess what happens? The baby, you go, oh, good job, good job. And the baby's thankful because it served. And then you said, hey, maybe you had your kid and the mom said, would you help me empty the dishwasher? And when they're young, they do it because it's fun. When it's old, you hate it. Does anybody hate emptying the dishwasher? Raise your hand. Is it just me? Do all of you have hands, or some of you don't have hands tonight? If you don't have a hand, I'm sorry if that felt really inappropriate. Just give me an elbow. That's good too. Okay. I can't stand emptying the dishwasher, and I'm horrible at filling it. I know that because my wife, every time I think I'm doing a good job and fill it, she goes in there and like makes 6 strategic moves and gets everything in there, right? But when you were a kid and you helped mom put the spoon in the drawer, your mom or dad said, oh, great job. And you were trained that serving feels really good. Can you relate to this? That serving feels good. But then somewhere along the way, you're taught, or you watch an example of selling, right? You watch an example of selling. And when you think about this and you go back to where some of this trauma starts for some of you, it's like we have this, let me do a little drawing for you guys tonight here. And you guys also, as you're writing Kaching, I want to know what you're hearing in the chat bar. I want to show you this diagram. Hang on. Okay, here we go. All right. So when you're here and you have this doorway, right? So you have this door and you have this kind of opening here, right? And you got a door, it's got maybe some windows in it. And here's your door. And then there's a bunch of like steps, right? That get to this doorway here. And as you went into this sales door throughout your life, I bet you tried to sell somebody something. And how many of you had a lemonade stand or you tried to sell something as a young kid and it didn't work out really well? Anybody give me a hand up or type in, right? Like no one they didn't purchase the bracelet that you made. And then in school, you tried to sell the lollipops, or you were in Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts, right? And you tried to sell it, but you didn't win, right? Little Lisa won because her dad had a big company and everybody loved the Thin Mints. Can you guys relate? Which is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? Is it the Thin Mints or is it the one with the coconut? You might as well call it the crack coconut one, whatever they call it. Morgan, type it in. You probably know what it is, right? And then what happens is you weren't the champion. And then they tried to make you feel good, but all you focused on is what went wrong. So you had to justify your sales failure here. And your mom would say, oh, well, better luck next time, or something like that, or something. Like when you failed at selling something. Oh, the Samoans. Yeah, I've eaten a fair amount of them in my day. I'm gluten-free now. I don't eat that, but I tell you, I'm pretty sure I dream about it. And so tell me, when you failed at selling something in your past, whatever your past is, what did someone tell you about it? Type in the chat bar. What did someone tell you? Did they say, hey, it will be okay? Did they tell you better luck next time? Did they say, oh, you need some skills? What did better luck next time? You did your best, right? And so then you grow up. What happens when you grow up? They say, oh, well, yeah, you're in debt, but you did your best. Your wife left you, but you did your best. And then it stacks on itself, right? So hopefully any of you that've been divorced, you don't all of a sudden have triggers or activations over that or anything. But the main key that I want to make is it starts to restrict you from this serving ability. So big insight, number one, is if you can consider, and if you have a notepad in front of you, will you guys do this? Will you do this with me? Let's do this together. So I want you to write this. I want you to write sales really big like this, sales. And then what I want you to do is I want you to write in the chat bar 1 to 10. 10, you're a master at it. Like you communicate and it sounds like angels and violins come out of your mouth. And 1 being you despise it. The thought of even having to tell someone to buy something is just disgusting in nature. Like you need to be bathed in holy water. And look at the numbers here. Now, I tried to solve this because when you have a company, and are you guys getting value already? Can you type in value? Because what you're going to find out is this applies to life, business, and wealth. It applies to everything. And what I found out with 200 employees, so you didn't want to pay my payroll, right? With 200 employees, what I found out is I couldn't figure out what kept people not selling. Like, why was conversion? Does anybody not know what conversion rate is? Just put a question mark and don't feel bad about it. I'd rather you ask me because I'm known for taking the complex and making it simple. Okay, thank you guys. So Catherine, what conversion is let's say I talk to 10 people on the phone and they want to buy my widget. I don't care what the widget is. Doesn't matter to me if it's this protein cup, if it's a generator. We work with now, it's got to be almost 150 different industries. We have doctors in our world. We have top AI experts. We have auto mechanics. We have tradespeople, insurance people, IT company, cybersecurity. What makes it so powerful in my world is we're not a just circle around one thing because it keeps people stuck sometimes. So if I talk to 10 people and 7 of them say, yeah, I want your protein cup, that's what we call a 70% conversion. Now, conversion is not just an indicator of your success. It is a scorecard of your ability to manage your own trauma and your own ability. So I'm trying to solve, and we have 50% conversion, 60%. That's a bad formula in a company with 200 employees. And Doreen, I'm going to say something about conversion. So remind me, everybody, about conversion. So you can't sustain a company with low conversion. And if there are low dollars and low conversion, guess what that's called? Bankruptcy. It's called out of business, right? So first I had to accept, why do I hire great skilled people? How many of you you have a skill? Type in skill in the chat bar. Like you could solve some stuff for people, right? Okay. I always attract people with lots of skill. And I had very skilled people that were not able to, let's use the term, sell. And then I thought to this theory, well, wait a minute. This is not a natural born ability for people. Now you can train them, but you cannot, and I want you to write this down, everybody. Ready, Matt? You cannot train above trauma. You can't train above trauma. You know why? Now, trauma could be whatever. It could be that you were told you're a loser as a kid, whatever. And you can't train above trauma because trauma is like quicksand, right? It's like quicksand. When you try to learn a new skill, it falls through. Now, how do I know that? Well, because I paid for some of the top trainers in the world to work with my team, and they would, well, let's survey you guys. How many of you have been trained by people and it lasted, ready, Matt? Not you, but some of you, and I got lots of Matts in my world, Matt Formica, Matt Pilius. I should just market and attract Matts. But how many of you have brought in really good trainers and it helped you and your company for about a week, and then it went right back, or sometimes even worse? Tell me in the chat bar. Okay, I got one person. Okay, two. So you say to yourself, how does that happen? How do I bring in somebody who's amazing to teach, gives the golden goose egg, and then all of a sudden they're go back? Well, I just summarized it for you. You can't teach above trauma. So if you want to know my secret sauce, and it is, I will say, a secret sauce because I don't know anybody else that figured it out over all these years, is that you must break through the mind before you put new in the mind. You must break through the mind before you put new in the mind. That's why I've been able to help, and I don't take credit for their work. They had to do the work, but that's why I've been able to help more companies scale and grow to legacy style wealth than anybody else I know. It's also the number one reason why companies stay stuck at 1, 2, 5, or 10 million, and very few go to 20 million or 30 million. Well, first off, they're putting in right stuff at the wrong time because they go train with somebody who's doing 100 million in their company. And that person says, I won't point it out today, if they're on here or not, but someone was just asking me 2 questions on a call before I got home. And I answered the 2 questions, which I know is a very different answer than everyone else in the world would give them, because the fact someone gets to 100 million, you tell me in the chat bar, is it possible that someone built a big company and doesn't know or forgot how they got there? Possible? Type impossible in the chat bar. So what they do is, Kim, they say to them, well, you know what, Brandon, they say, you got to go to a uniform company and you have to get uniforms, but you got 5 people. It doesn't make sense to go to a uniform company for 5 people. It doesn't. They're going to wrap you in a contract. If the service is not good, they're going to beat you over the head with their agreement, and you only have 5 of them. So it's more affordable to buy it and give it to them and tell them take care of it than it is to go to, but someone doing 100 million says, or 50 million, I need a uniform company. So they give you the right thing and you do it at the wrong time. And then you wake up one day and you say to yourself, I ran out of money and I don't know where it went. Is this clicking? Type in boom if it's clicking, right? And then I'm sharing, people come to me because, this is what we do today. We help people move faster than ever, and we want to make them wealthy without being divorced, and we want to make them wealthy without being sick and diabetes, right? And then I get people ask me, they're a small company, should I do billboard or TV? And I'm making a strict point here when we go talk about the sales is, no, that makes no sense at all. So the other point I want to make about sales is you have a situation that's called the comparison effect. The comparison effect is, I'm trying to do what you do because I see you doing it. I'm not a believer in scripts. I'm not. And the top gurus in the world, sales gurus, which pretty much none of them did 500 million ever, but they're still, I'm not taking anything from them. They say to me, they must memorize the script. Have you ever been taught a script? Tell me in the chat bar. You must memorize this script. Say it like this. Breathe deeply. Hold your tone. Smile big, right? Well, I got news for you. I'm not a script believer. I'm a framework believer. I want to give you a framework. There's some basic things to do, to think about. And I want you to take your best self, which are already a great person, and pop it into the framework. Does it really matter if you say, and I had a thing like, it's a better than great day at Gold Medal Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric. Does it really matter if it's a better than great day, or it's a nice day, or it's a fabulous day, or it's a wonderful day? Does it really matter at all? Take your best language and your best self and move it forward. So now let's go back to conversion. You ready for conversion? So somebody told me 100% is not reasonable, Mike. They said no one can do 100% conversion. And in the company I used to own, Gold Medal, they used to tell me, well, 50% is normal for sales, 50%. Now I want you to write something down. Anything you're told over and over again will become your truth, good or bad. If you as a kid said, you're stupid, stop that. And I bet some of you had a dad or a mom, and hopefully I'm not triggering you. If anything, I want to help you replace it so you're free forever. Have any of you as a kid told you were stupid? And when you got a teenager, did they add the F word in it? And then did they add a couple more words in it? And you don't have to admit to it, but I bet you heard it long enough, just like you're clumsy. Did you ever see anybody take on the identity of clumsy? Now, at this point, if you're still here, well, you might as well stay till I'm done, because it means I haven't triggered you enough to leave. But let me share how it happens. Here's how an identity happens. Do you want to know? Tell me, type in please in the chat bar. I'll tell you how identity happens. And some of you are going to be a little disappointed because you might be doing this to your children, but you could change it. So how many of you have kids? Type in kids in the chat bar. How many have kids? Okay, how many of you still love them? Raise your hand. Still love them? Okay, that's good news. All right, thank you. Brandon still loves them. All right, good. I'm glad you guys still love them. Well, when you're a kid and you bump your elbow on your wall, oh my goodness, if it's a 3-year-old, if it's a little boy, I don't know, you're like, suck it up, rub it off, right? Whatever. But if you're a little girl and you bump your elbow and they look for their mom, and what do? If the mom makes eye contact, right, Tara? They go, and they start to cry, and oh, I'm sure Tara kissed a lot of her kids' elbows. Oh, you're fine. Now, maybe not. She's hardcore. She probably slapped the elbow. Go wake up, right? And all of a sudden, I care about the elbow. Now, day 2, the kid wakes up, walks down the hall, bangs its elbow. Oh, and you rub it again. The 3rd time the kid bangs its elbow, you go, now, aren't you a little clumsy one? Has anybody been told they're clumsy as a kid? And every time you bang your elbow, you say, haha, I'm so clumsy. And you took on the identity of a clumsy person. And that's how things are programmed inside of you. Everything is programmed. Success is programmed. So people say, hey, and you're like, what's this have to do with sales? Well, if you don't change the program, you can't change the future. You're going to live within the program. So they tell me, you know what? 100% is not reasonable. And I don't know if has anybody been to any of my events or experiences or anything? Type it in the chat bar. And people would come and I would do an exercise at night, and I would either make people walk fire, eat fire, everything, fight each other. Those of you that are coming, don't panic tomorrow. We're not fighting each other, and they won't let me burn a fire in the building, or maybe we would do it. Some of you are probably disappointed at that, but we'll do it in the future. And they would say to me, 100%, but I would get 100 people in a room, and 100% of the people, only after meeting me for 8 hours. How many of you did some fire walking with me? Yeah, you got walking on glass. And after 8 hours with me, we would have 100% of the people in the room walk fire, walk across glass. And I would say to them at the end of the night, so is 100% conversion possible? And the answer always is after that. What's the answer? Type it in the chat bar. The answer is yes, it is possible. Now, because I'm telling you it's possible, it's now become probable. Oh, probably can happen now. But before, you get what people call industry standards, the most dangerous words in the world. Well, the industry as a standard says this, and I will share with you all your future success is on the other side of an industry standard, and it's on the other side of someone else's feedback. So now I got to bring you back to sales. So now you understand conversion. Now, let's go back here. Now that we know a rating where you're at here, okay? Now that we know a rating where you're at, let's just see how this feels here. I want you now to cross out the word sales. Go ahead, cross it out. I want to see all of you move. Cross out the word sales. And I want you to write the word serving. I want you to write the word serving. See, when you come at this from a serving side, this serving, the more you serve, what most people don't share with you is the more you serve, the more you normally start to remove your trauma, because the more you give back, it always comes back. We just did it in the room I was in today. We were talking about somebody, and then my friend Dean, that person actually messaged. There's this, just so you know, write this down. Sales is a vibration. It's a vibration, okay? And it's driven by a frequency. And the frequency is controlled and the vibration by your mind. And I know for some of you, you're like, wait a minute, Mike, this is really foo-fooey. Can't you just tell me when they say, that's a lot of money? Can't you just give me the magic phrase, that's a lot of money? When you say it's a lot of money, what are you really referring to? Did you already have a budget in mind? I know you guys would love the shit out of all the baby food strategies out there, but if we align this and we could just get this one theory here, and the theory is this: if you even get to the point there's an objection, everything else is broken before that point. Do you get this? Because decision making is a process. Write it down, everybody. Decision making is a process driven by your past processes. Everybody has a process. Tell me in the chat bar, let's all do it. If you were to buy a blender, okay, you have to go buy a blender. You're going to start because it's the new year, and you all of a sudden you're going to, take your health serious, and you need to start blending celery juice and stuff, right? Because you're just going to go all in, and you're not going to get some basic blender. You're going to get a blender. Tell me, if you're going to buy the blender, what's the first thing you do? Do you call your mom? Hey, mom, what kind of blender is that for 50 years? Do you go on Facebook? Who's bought a blender? Do you go to Amazon and look for a blender? Do you go to Target and walk through the aisles? Do you go to Consumer Reports? Everybody tell me. Okay, Google. Is anybody going to ChatGPT? Hey, AI, smartest brain in the world, could you tell me, if you were an owner of a house, what blender would you own? Look at all the different things here. So this is to buy a blender. Now tell me how you'll make the decision on the blender. Will it be the price of the blender? Will it be the brand of the blender? Will it be the reviews of the blender? Will it be because your friend told you about the blender? Tell me in the chat bar. Price and quality. How many of you are like me? You'll buy the best thing once. You just want to buy it once. Anybody else like me? You would need the blender that can kill everything but Chuck Norris. Did you ever see that commercial? You'll buy the blender, but the blender can't even beat up Chuck Norris. So look, we got a lot of people. So made in the US, I'm going to buy the top one first, right? I'm going to make sure I get the best the first time. And if you look at this, there's probably I need all the bells and whistles. So there's probably 80% here, if I was to take my quick guess, that says, I'll just buy the best one, right? And 20% say, I'm going to make decisions on value. So you tell me, when you're buying something or your customer is buying something, when did they start to make the decision to buy? When do you think they made the decision to buy? Oh, well, Dawn, that's good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got $1,000 blender. And we also bought at the home show the, $6,000 pots and pans. So, you know what I mean? Because the guy, did you ever buy don't make me feel alone. Did anybody else buy like the $5,000 or $6,000 pots and pans at the home show? Because the broccoli, he cooked it so perfect, or is it just me? It's probably just, okay, vitamin. Okay. It's not just me. Okay. The knife set, right? So if you look at this, and if we say sales, if we were to use that for the word, just to reference you, because serving, you're going to have to adopt it. If we know that it's a process, and the process starts way before you even get to communicate to them, then guess what? Your conversion rate's going to go way up. Now, most people, what they try to do is they try to deliver the value, which sounds more like, and you guys tell me, don't agree with me. All the salespeople that you've been around, do they sound more like they're serving you or trying to convince you? Tell me in the chat bar. Are they serving you or are they trying to convince you? Convince you. You should buy this water heater because it's never going to break and it's tankless and you'll never run out of water and the brand's been around for 100 years and you'll sleep good and you'll never have a cold shower again. And, and when your family finds out you got the tankless water heater, they'll no longer shame you on Thanksgiving dinner. So sales become this convincing thing. Well, let me tell you why you need this instead of this serving, communicating thing, right? Like, what don't you know already, right? What do you need me to share with you? How would you like me? Like, very few people have I ever watched in sales say, hey, so this is what's happening, right? What would be the best way for me to deliver the options to you, right? And if they looked at me, I would say, do you need a lot of details? Do you just need to know the value positioning of it? Is it going to be just about the investment? Because I wanted, especially when you're a small company, when I was small, right? When I mean small, a couple trucks, I did not have an hour and a half to sit and convince somebody to buy something. I needed to say, hey, so this panel is broken. And tell me the best way to deliver the information to you, right? Would you like me to give you a bunch of solutions or one solution? Would you want the solution I'd put in my house or give you options? Tell me what you need today, and I'm going to serve you with what you need to make this as fast and efficient as possible. Now, how many of you, and I'll share a story because my wife one time, she had, this just happened the other day too. So I'm going to share two quick stories. The first one is the person comes and we're going to have kitchen magic. Do you know what kitchen magic is? Kitchen magic comes in and they take your shitty kitchen and they're going to put laminate over it. So they're going to take all the cabinet drawers off and they're going to put a new thing on it and they're going to put a new top. And in the end, you look like you got a new kitchen, right? This is a long time ago, my wife. Yeah, lipstick on a pig. So this guy comes in and breaks out his tablet and he's got this big presentation he's going to go through. And my wife makes it through about 5 minutes because he didn't listen. My wife just said, I want a new kitchen. Tell me how to get a new kitchen. And he's routined programmed. Okay. You getting this, Ethan? He's programmed. So he's like, let me flip through the slides. And my wife gets up and walks out of the room. So you know what I said, Nick? I said, you should just pack up your stuff. He said, why? I said, my wife just walked out of the room. She's the one making the decision. He said, why'd she leave? I said, because you didn't listen to her. She said she wanted a new kitchen, and you're going through your 900 slides. And he's like, well, can we get her back? I said, that's not how it works. She doesn't come back in the room now. So he's confused, and I start shutting his tablet. I'm like, no, you have to shut it. You have to get up now, and you have to leave our kitchen. She's done. And he's just like carrying his stuff, and he's confused. And I say to him, like, I don't know why he's so confused. He didn't even listen. Now, my wife and I just experienced this the other day, looking at, we're in a timeshare. Anybody else own a timeshare? Type in timeshare. And we go through this whole presentation. We got $57,000. Okay, Rufino, my wife and I are ready to pull out the Amex card and up level our timeshare for $57,000. This was the other day. And I said, look, you gave us everything. I'll let you know Monday. It's Friday, because I got to talk it over. I got to see, are we going to do more travel, this stuff. The woman, now tell me if this is a good sales process, Kevin. Is this good? She says, well, if you're not going to make a decision now, well, then this offer's off the table. We're done. So I said, are you sure? We're just done? She says, yeah, we'll be done. So my wife and I said, okay, we walked out. We walked out. She was confused because she didn't understand the buyer. So they lost $57,000 trying to sell and not to serve. Now, if she wanted to serve, she would have said, hey, so can you help me just understand by the time we get to Monday, if something changes over the weekend and you just decide no, would you let me know? And no's a no. It's fine. I'll accept a no. Now, guess what the other person does before we got there? You ready for this one, Nick? I said to the person, they said, here's the offer. And I said, is that the lowest offer everyone pays, or is there different? He goes, no, that's it. I said, but what if I buy more? He said, well, let me go see. He comes back and guess what he says? It's lower. So are you seeing a problem here? So I said, why didn't you just tell me when I said, could there be lower? You said, well, if you buy more, it would be lower. So this is, if you want to write a term down, this is like the sales destruction system. It's the anti-selling system is what they have instead of the serving system. All right, so let's take a pause here 1 second. And during our pause, I want you to look through your notes, and I want you to pick one thing and type it in the chat bar that's clicking for you, something that feels completely different now. And then I want to talk about understanding how people buying has changed. So go in there. Yeah, you can't train. Hey, Anna, nice to see you. You can't train above trauma. Asking people how, yeah, it sounds like, did you ever notice, like, it sounds so simple once somebody makes it simple. And it doesn't have to be pressure, because if you're under pressure, you will communicate. Listen to me. If you're under pressure, you will communicate the intention of pressure and the vibration of pressure. That's what you're going to communicate to everybody. Okay, you guys are playing full out. And those of you not on camera, love if you're not sick to jump on camera. That'd be good, because I'd love to see your smiling face. And it's 9:22, and I feel like I'm just getting warmed up here. So we're going to go a little bit longer, if that's okay. Are you guys hanging on a little bit longer? Can we do that? If we can, I'll keep going. Before I go longer, I want to give you guys, let me do this. Some of you are new, and I'd like to make sure that you leave with some free goodies tonight. Okay. I'm not going to ask anything for it. It's going to be gifting just like this. And my team's going to hey, Cindy, nice to see you. Cheryl, what's happening? Oh, I'm getting a look here. So many. Nick in the house. What's up, Nick? Okay. So if you go here, everybody, we'll give you the link after I share this. Okay. I want to show you this. There's a link, and every time we do a training, people ask, Mike, what do you have coming up? What's Food Dog doing? So I want to take a minute and share with you what we're doing. If that's okay, can you give me a boom in the chat bar if I just share it really quick? We have a lot of stuff coming up, but first, I want to make sure you get this stuff. We'll give you the link. This is completely free. You see this? Did anybody attend the market predictions? Can you type in 2025 if you attended this? If not, and you want the replay, can you type in replay? And I'll give you the replay. It's right here. And you'll click and you'll get it. It's going to be coming down soon. So if you want the replay, just go tonight, click, get the replay, and hold it so you don't lose it. This one here we just did. Was anybody on this one? Type in cash. And if you want the replay for this one, type in replay. And you're going to get it for free. So we'll make sure you get the link, go download the thing and watch it. We just did this one. Okay. Every training like this, we want it to be transformational for you. Now this marketing power, this is already over. So no need. We're going to be taking this one off, but who attended marketing power? And if you did, tell me how the training was. Was it unlike any other marketing training you've ever attended in your life? And don't lie. You guys know anybody that's new in my world, you'll know people here. I don't, there's no blowing smoke needed here. Intense, great, awesome, great, jam-packed with it. Okay, good. All right, you guys made me feel good. I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. All right, this one will be, this is the one we're on tonight. So just so you know, a lot of times we put the recording up and one more of those free ones going to drop off. That's why you got to go there. This is tomorrow, boardroom day. Now, if you can't make boardroom day, is anybody sad they can't make it? Just put a sad face or type sad. Are you sad? I'm sad because we had a couple more spots. Yeah, I'm sad because I love hanging out with all of you. But guess what? Cheryl, don't be sad. Here you go. February 28th, right here, boardroom day in New Jersey. Tanner, it's going to be free, but there's only 35 spots because that's all we could fit in the house is 35. So if you want to come out on February 28th, team, tell them how to communicate with you. Put the thing in there. You guys can come out for the day, the Jersey Shore. It still might be a little chilly. I don't know. We'll spend all day together. 35 of us. We'll feed you. We'll give you notebooks and folders, and we'll have a great time together. And we'll solve some of your biggest stuff. But I will say there's only 35 spots at this one. If you want to get in, you got to get in fast. So Alan, oh, Alan's already in. So Alan, you guys got to message the team. Just go team, all in. We'll get you on the list. Okay. Don't worry about this legacy day. That's for members. This here, leadership. Who knows they need more leadership skills? Type in leadership. Well, of course, we all do, including me. I invest in leadership training. And even when I hit $1 billion, I'm going to invest in leadership. All right, we got 2 different dates here, 3 days in person. Now there's an investment in here. It's 3 days. We rent this whole house. We take care of food, and it's only for max 30, 35 people max. That's it. So if you'd like to possibly attend leadership training, just send our team. We'll let you know what's involved in it. At the end, when I review all this, if you don't know what to do, just send a message to my team and we'll get you on with one of our team or myself and we'll talk about it. Okay. Who knows they want their relationship to go to the next level? Type in relationship. I'm really excited. We're doing it twice. One sold out, but you could get on the waiting list. And for 2 days in person at the Jersey Shore. Now, this is only for 18 couples because remember how many people can fit in the house. And my wife and I are going to teach you everything we learned about being together for going on 40 years, building and selling 2 high 8-figure companies and scaling 2 companies, a total combined revenue I've done over 500 million, and how we do it and navigate this dance of life. This is not therapy. So this is enhancement. If you want to get the spark back in, you want to live with more passion, you want to get aligned. If one of you are building an empire and another one of you are scared, well, come and spend 2 days with us. This is going to sell out really, really fast. And those of you that are on here tonight that are already registered for these, just type in the chat bar so everybody knows. Here's not legacy. That's for our members. If you're curious about how we work with people every single week to move them faster in life, business, and wealth, we have a couple different levels. Just reach out. You'll have a meeting with me. I'll share it with you. Sales power. Okay. Just be upfront with me. Have you already heard some stuff you never heard tonight about selling improvement? Yes? Yes? Type in yes in the chat bar. I know you have. We're only doing this one once. It's May 2nd to 4th. It's 3 days in person, and I'm going to teach you everything that I've done, everything I thought about, everything from selling products to selling yourself on your bigger future to selling companies. It's going to be everything about sales that can apply to any industry, but we're going to apply it to each one of your industries. That's what makes it really exciting. So you got to send a message to the team. We have this one. Is this helpful? Can you type in helpful? Is it okay? I take a couple minutes. I'm going to go back into selling, but every time a training ends, somebody goes, "Oh, Mike, I didn't know about the marketing one." And I'm like, well, what'd you want me to tell you? I do my best on Facebook. I do 1 million posts a damn day for everybody. This one, SOP Power. This is virtual. It's a full day, and I'm going to teach you everything the E-Myth never taught you. I'm going to teach you how I got my service company and what I applied there to get it to run 5 years without me. I'm going to teach you exactly what we do today with our 17 team members. Every one of our team members are all over the world. They're in Virginia, they're in Philippines, they're in Peru. Our team is all over the world, and we run Food Dog Group. So if you're interested in SOP, it's virtual, and you'll get to bring someone from your team with you. So an owner and maybe a team member, so you guys can double down and put what we believe creates a more organized, running, profitable company. Now, if you're not running a company that's over 30-something million, I'll just be honest with you. The investment for that is ridiculously low. It is for a reason, because I want it to be available for all of you, okay? For all of you. And if anything, trust me, I am selling you on some of this stuff. Are you okay? But I'm doing it in a way of serving you, because if I serve you at the highest level and your life changes, you're not even doing it for you. I promise you. You think you're doing all this for you? Who are you doing it for? Tell me in the chat bar. You're not doing it for you. You're doing it for your wife, for your kids, for your legacy, for your family, right? I get it. There's a byproduct for you, but most of you are fighting to serve someone else in your life. So I am selling you on these trainings here in a way of serving, because I don't want you to let anybody down. I don't want you to say no to your adult kids. I don't want you to say no to your grandkids. That's why I'm doing all this, right? People told me, they said, after I sold my first company, which was a $32 million business, they said, Mike will quit on everybody. And I didn't. We went more into helping people. Then in 5 years, I impacted well over 20,000 people. And I sold that company in 2020 because I needed to change the whole world. And they said, Mike's going to disappear. He did over 500 million. He'll quit. And we went in even more, which you see, it's 9:30 tonight and I'm here with you. So we're going to keep doing it until we change the world here. Okay. Business Power, 3 days in person, everybody. Which one of these are you already most excited about? Tell me in the chat bar. What are you most excited about? Business Power is 3 days. Operations, it's everything. Finances, it's everything you need in a company to scale a company so you could change your team's life. Us, we're working on making our team wealthy. Everybody that's working for us, they're not working for us. We're working together. We're all part of Food Dog, okay? And this is the last one here. This might apply to some of you. This is Coaching Power. We're going to teach coaching skills, and we're also going to have a segment on this on how to build and improve a coaching business. Do I have any coaches on here? Type in coaches. Do I have any coaches here? And I'm going to show you how to create a movement. And I'm going to show you how I did it at CEO Warrior and changed the blue collar industry. We created the most unique and dominant best practice organization on the planet. That's why they purchased it from me, and they're still doing an amazing job there. There's a lot of people still over there at CEO Warrior, and they're growing their companies. I'm super proud of how they took that throne and ran with it. And now what we do is we're the force multiplier. All right, we got to get back into sales. Hey, if any of you want to know about trainings and get signed up, I'll be up front. Just there's only 35 spots. When they're gone, they're gone. So you're not going to show up and it's in some big building and it's not 500 people. Did you ever go to one of these events? Tell me in the chat bar. You went to an event, you clapped, you felt really good. Monday came and everything was the same again. Be honest with me in the chat bar. Yes? Has that ever happened or none of you? Just me? right? And you're lost in the crowd and you got a whole bunch of notes, but what do you do with it? You never go back to the book. That's not our events, guys. You come, we solve, you leave with the blueprint and action plans to execute on. Otherwise, don't leave unless you have action plans. That's the secret sauce. Okay. Hey, all right. Are we tracking? Type in tracking, everybody. Type in tracking. And all of you, look, the next 5 years is the greatest catalyst for those of you that figure it out. It is, if you look at the industrial age in the 20s, when we were, all of a sudden cars and factories and fridges and all this new stuff, that industrial age, we're in the new one now. By 2030, and especially if any of you are going to sell a company, I will just be as transparent as I can. If you're going to, how many of you dream of selling a company? Type in selling. If you're going to sell a company, I promise you, you better get in my world faster than possible, because from now to 2030 is going to be your greatest opportunity. The next 36 months of planning, you go. Now, some of you may not sell. You're going to do it forever and hand it to your family, and that's good. But if you're not focused and you're around the smartest on the planet that knows everything to do, you might miss the greatest time of your life. So you heard it from me here. All right, let's talk about a couple more things. Let's talk about understanding how people and buying have changed. And team, put the, any of you that are interested in any of the trainings, can you just put the team at, okay, there's the events tab. So everybody go copy that so you have it. And here's what you should do. Take the events tab, click on it tonight and tomorrow, look at the ones you're interested in, email my team. They'll have a conversation with you. If you do more than one or more than one person, we'll package up something. And here's the best thing. If you need financing, we'll self-finance it to help you out. Is that amazing? Can you type in amazing? We will self-finance it and help you the best we can. We do not want to say no to anybody. That's what makes us really, really different here at Food Dog. Okay. We'll do the very best for you. All right. So understanding how people are buying, just so you know, people are, everybody, including you are an energy field that is driven by emotions, right? That's what you are. You're an energy field driven by emotions, and your emotions are trying to communicate to this informed buyer, right? Because would you say that more people buying today are informed? Is that true? And I bet some of you, I'll be surprised. One of the things I ask is, so before I even present anything to you or even talk about anything, what kind of research did you already do? What kind of research did you do? Because I'd rather not tell you things you already know. And I bet a lot of you don't do that. I bet a lot of you don't do that. But why wouldn't you? Is that logical? Can you type in logical? I think it's logical to ask the question, what kind of research did you do? And if they say no research, then you say to them, well, can I share the research with you? I'll share it with you. And let me share it in this way. And why I get ready to share it, Aaron, who's on here, Aaron and my wife were business partners together. And Aaron's a master copywriter. Okay. He's a master copywriter, along with so many other things. He has an MBA and stuff. And when we started working together over a decade ago, you could imagine what kind of a response a copywriter sends to somebody in an email. It's like 30 pages long, I'm exaggerating some, of information about my question. And I would read, how many of you, like, you just don't read a lot of stuff? You need it like this. Give me bullets. Anybody else? Type in bullets. Anybody else like that? But how many of you love information? Go ahead, tell me. Type in info. You just love it. You're like, I want to read like 500 pages before we buy the TV. And how many of you buy the TV, never read the directions at all, and you just start pushing buttons? And you live with somebody who has anxiety that you're pushing the buttons and didn't read the manual, right? Are any of you like, you have anxiety? You're like, stop pushing the buttons, read the instructions, right? And you thought you could put the doll house together for your daughter on Christmas Eve without reading any instructions, and then you had to pull the whole thing apart because the one divider you can't fit, right? Is that anybody else? And you decided maybe you could cut the divider and glue it because you don't want to take it apart, right? So if we already know, and Aaron used to send me these long things, I say, Aaron, give me 4 bullets. That's all I need, right? So he's learned over the years, give Mike way less. He's not going to even read this stuff. But some people like to read it. So why don't I just ask them, what research did you do? And would you like me to give you the long detailed version, or do you just want the shortened bullet? And then guess what? For some of you that are on it, how many of you are actually in a sales role? You go communicate, someone says yes to you, and then they say, I'm going to buy or I'm not going to buy. Tell me in the chat bar. Do some of you? Yeah, a lot of you, right? I want to make it so simple for you that they turn around and they say to you, you know what, Bill? I love you so much because you made this so simple. You made it so simple for me. And really all you did was make it so simple. That's what you did. And you don't, when I was growing up in the trades and learning how to sell, people, and I did over 19 million in HVAC, and they would say, well, when you sell, there's a thing called a capacitor. Does anybody know what that is? Type in yes. Do you know what a capacitor is? It's this thing that's inside an air conditioner and stuff. And they would say, Bill, they'd say, oh, Mrs. Jones, that's a triple flux ignition system. And I'd be like, what? Triple flux what? Like, what are you trying to do? Confuse the customer into they're buying like a rocket ship from Elon Musk? Like, why do we got to be tricky? Why don't we just be trusted? Will you write that down? Like, you don't need to be tricky, right, Ryan? When you're trusted, you don't need that stuff. And when you guys start asking, all of you and gals, when you just make it simple and you say, hey, I'd like to let you know I'm here to serve you today, even if that's not using us, but the majority of people do, what's the best way that I can serve you? Because I don't want to give you information you don't need. I want to give it to the way you need it. And I want to make this as fast and efficient as possible. And I've literally had people that I've never met before go like this. I have to go to the store. Here's the check. I signed it. Just write the amount in as long as it's under 10,000. Call me, send me a picture of it, lock the door. And I'd say, okay, but you're going to have to sign this invoice. And they'd say, I'll write a note that I approve anything. And they'd walk out and I'd go, okay, but guess what? They trusted me. I didn't take advantage. I didn't go, oh man, 10,000. Well, let me make some shit up here. Because if you do the right thing, how many of you heard this phrase? I think it's the stupidest thing ever said to the human race. Do unto others as they do unto you. That means if you're nasty to me, I should be nasty to you. If you stab me, I should stab you back. And my rule that I created that maybe you might want to consider is do unto others better than they do unto you. How does that sound as a phrase? Do unto others better than they do unto you. Because then you'll neutralize any of the stuff that sucks that you don't like, right? And then you'll live in a state where you're not carrying the weight. That's why I'm excited whoever's coming to boardroom tomorrow, because I'm gonna have them talk a couple minutes about how pain in the body, just write this down. The body follows the mind. The body follows the mind. So any of you that are dealing with body pains, I promise you it's from your mind. So back to the buyers. So we have emotional decisions. Oh man, I'm thinking about this. I'm scared about this. We have the informed buyers. And then we have the trust economy, right? These are the people that are like, yeah, I trust you, right? And when we have, I just answered for all of you, right? There's nothing for me to convince you of. I'm teaching you value. Are you guys getting value? Yes, I'm teaching you value. If you see me and my organization, I'm doing the talking, but I'm not the most brilliant. We have a team full of brilliant people. I have my whole team on here. I got Tara on here, Aaron's on here, my wife's on here, Michael's on here, Morgan's on here, Megan's. I got a whole team on here with you tonight, and they're all brilliant, right? So when you think of the process, I'm delivering value to you. Then I'm educating you. And I asked you if it's okay. Let me just tell you what we got going on. And I gave you a whole bunch of free trainings. And if you just take those and implement it, I am super happy for you. Some of you are going to go, hey, this makes sense to go spend time 3 days on my leadership. I know it's going to move me faster. And then I said, and guess what? If you can't afford the trainings, we'll finance it and we'll do our very best for you. At that point, you made a decision. Either we're a solution or not. Anything else I try to do will feel nasty and disgusting, like I'm trying to force you. And I don't want to force you. I just want to help you focus on a bigger future. So I'm just sharing with you, and you tell me, how did it feel on the other side? Did it feel like I'm manipulating you? Did I try to make up shit with you? Am I telling you you're a loser if you don't buy? No, I love you if you invest in solutions. I love you if you don't. I'm here to serve you. And that's exactly how it will work with your customers when you show up that way. When you show up that way. Okay? All right, let's cover a couple more things before we finish this. Now, I got to talk about marketing a little bit, but I don't want any of you in sales to then call up your owner and go, I told you it's the fucking marketing thing. Like, let's not do that. We're all in the same thing together. And if you're an owner here, can you type in owner in the chat bar? Can you type in owner? If you're an owner, first off, and I'm an owner, I'm sending you a hug and love, because those of you that are not owners, there is no harder position on planet Earth than to be an owner of a company. I know that. I built them. I've sold them. I'm an owner today. I have partnerships in companies. Why? Because you never get to sleep. So thank you for what you do. Those of you that are not owners, I want to thank you, because you're in the game with them. And when you're aligned with the owner and the company, it's not I own the company, you. It is we are at the Super Bowl together. We're at the Super Bowl together. And the more aligned you guys all are, the faster you go. But I do have to talk about something. If your marketing is attracting guppies, right? Like if I market, and I'm not mocking Walmart, it's okay if you buy stuff there. But if I'm attracting Walmart customers and trying to sell them Nordstrom products, tell me how that works out, everybody. Does that work out good? No. And some of you that are not owners that are here, kudos in you in investing in your life too. Kudos in you, because that's what I've done my whole life to win. But if you attract Walmart customers and I sold $6,000 toilet bowl. I mean, the thing blew air on your butt. It washed your butt off. You know what I mean? The seat warmed up. You know, this fancy toilet, right? We sold it for $6,000, and my guys sold them every week. They said, "Do you ever sit on that toilet in the middle of the night and just wonder how cold could it get? What if I told you you never had to sit on a cold seat again?" And imagine if it would help you, your body would never be as clean. You would never feel the same after going to the bathroom again. You'll probably want to go to the bathroom more just to sit on this toilet. And they would sell a $6,000 toilet every single week. Now, does the toilet do a good job? Yeah. Thing warms your ass, blows air on your ass, washes it. I mean, it damn near give you a shower, this thing. Some of them play radio, Bluetooth, right? It's like you're in heaven. Nobody could imagine a toilet bowl could be so good. Can you sell a $28K bathroom? Listen, I sold $28,000 bathrooms on drippy faucets. Are you kidding me? Of course we can. But it's harder to sell it to a Walmart customer. So just so you know, the majority of objections that happen in a company have already started at the point they looked at your marketing. And if your marketing came across that you're the low cost, low trust producer, that you're, I remember there was a company in town for me, it was called Cheap Plumbing. And I called the guy one day and said, "You got to tell me if this is working for you, because I cannot believe you have the most amazing life ever. And he said, why would you say that? I said, because logic tells me that you must be attracting people that can't pay enough for you to have the life that you deserve. And he goes, well, yeah, I'm not. My customers are cheap. They're always negotiating. And he sounded so puzzled. I said, can I ask you why you're so puzzled? It says cheap plumbing. What did you think you would get? But he didn't realize it, right? To him, it was a great idea. He wasn't born a marketer. He was born a plumber. He wasn't born knowing how to do it. I said, look, let's change the name. He's like, why are you even helping me? I'm in your market. I said, well, first, let me just tell you, son, I have to help you because you're pulling down the market. You know, you're going there and trying to sell something for $50 and I'm $5,000. So one of us looks like a fool and you're probably trying to make me more look like a fool than you. So I'll tell you what I said, let's change your name. And what I'd like to do is if you ever come after I go to a job, just raise your price 10 times and you'll still beat me and you'll make more money. And I'm okay with that. So I used to tell people, if you go to a job and I was there, just call me. I'll tell you how much to charge, do the job. Because one, it meant that my people didn't serve them at the highest level. Because when you serve at the highest level, people just buy. Can you write that down? They just buy. And if they didn't buy and needed to get someone else's opinion, was there high trust or little trust? You tell me. Is there high trust or little trust? Now, I am going to share something with you. I believe your customers buy at the way you buy. If you are always looking for the lowest price, I bet you get customers negotiate with you. If you need 3 estimates, I bet your customers need 3 estimates. But let me summarize why. I shared it with you over an hour ago because it's a vibration. Your thoughts are creating the exact you on the other side of you. So now I'm not telling you to throw money on the ground. I'm sharing with you when you make quicker decisions, your clients make quicker decisions. Does that make sense? Everybody type in the chat bar. The other thing is you try to do what's good for you and you're not your customer. So those of you that are technical, of course you would fix your own stuff. But I don't want my stuff fixed, and I want you to write this down. Most people don't want their stuff fixed. They want it improved and enhanced. They don't want their stuff fixed. They want it improved and enhanced. Why? Because how many of you have so much extra time in your life, you don't know what to do with yourself? Anybody? There's always one retired. Or I bet, how many of you need an extra 20 hours a day? Tell me in the chat bar. You need an extra 20 hours? Well, the way to get 20 extra hours is, guess what? You got to buy quicker, right? You make decisions quicker. No one has free time. They want it enhanced. Tell me how to improve my situation so I never have to go back there again. That's what I want. I never want to be back there again. And whatever you have, I want it to work even better. Now, 20 years ago, it might have been a little different. Why? Well, 20 years ago, we're not as enhanced. How many of you, let's date ourselves. How many of you owned a beeper? Type in beeper. Did you have a beeper? Anybody have 2 of them because you were just crazy like that? How many of you thought every time the beeper went off, you thought you were getting electrocuted? Anybody? Any electricians did. I was an electrician. So that beeper went off. I thought I was dying, Stephanie. Every moment the beeper went off, I thought I just got electrocuted again. I mean, I started to get, very jittery. Beep, thing would buzz, right? Every now and then it buzzed like a jackhammer, right? But you don't have a beeper no more. We have what's called knowledge. And knowledge for you is important, but wisdom is what people are buying. And I want you to write that down. Knowledge is their research. Ready? Wisdom is their decision. Let me share this, okay? Let me share this. See, if they did knowledge, they went all over the internet and they went on Google and they went in Facebook groups and and they went all over and they think they know. You know them. They called like the engineers, right? I went to a job one time. I said, oh, by the way, what do you do? He says, I'm an engineer. I knew exactly how this process had to go. You want to know how this process needed to go, Jacob? Just like this. Well, did you already have a plan of what we should do? He goes, absolutely. Absolutely. We should run the pipe here. It should be a 1-inch PVC. We should use number 12 conductors. I said, okay, that sounds good. Did you think about upgrading it to number 10 just so extra capacity, for derating? He's like, yeah, I was thinking about that. We should do that. Did you think about maybe making the pipe 1.25 inches because it will still tuck in nice in case we ever got to do anything in the future? Were you thinking, oh yeah, I was thinking we should run 1.25 inches with number 10s in it. I was like, yeah. Did you think maybe when we run this, we'll put a couple extra junction boxes in case later we need to do something else? He goes, I was there. So were you thinking 2 or 3? He goes, what do you think? I was thinking 3 would make sense. This guy, by the time I was done, I said, should we just get the pipe out of the truck? He says, yeah, absolutely. You know exactly. Watch this. You know what he says to me? This is what he says to me, Ethan. You know exactly what I want. That's what the engineer says to me. I said, well, that's why people call me. That's why they call us out here, because we know exactly what you want. How much is it? It's only $12,000. That's it. And a matter of fact, I'm going to start right now. He goes, that's it? I said, well, I mean, I can make it a little more if you want, but you told me everything to do, so I made it more affordable. He goes, let's do it. Perfect. Got the guys. Let's do the job, right? Do you see? It doesn't have to be difficult. You just need to be human. That's all. Stop trying to not be human with people and everything will become easier. Okay, let me leave you with one last thing. Serving is a culture. It's a culture. And it can't be a one-off thing, serving. Serving is a culture. You have multiple clients in a company, okay? The first clients in a company is the team. It's the employees. That's the first clients. They were my clients. Why? Because when people say, how did you go from 2 employees to 200 employees and a waiting list of employees? I said, well, first, I'm a really good leader. I fight for the livelihood of my people. I still do it today. You could ask my team here if they feel I fight. Okay, team, answer it and don't bullshit anybody. Do I fight for your livelihood? I bring them training. I bring them the top people in the world. We do virtual holiday parties, everything you could imagine. So we had a waiting list. So why? Because my team's our first client. Our second client is a bunch of you guys. It's people that are in our world. They're our second client. Our third client, guess what? It's our vendor partners. It's the people that help us with marketing things and products that we purchase and notebooks. Everybody that's coming tomorrow to Boardroom, we got this incredible folder. I got all kinds of tools and stuff we're going to use. It's going to be an incredible day. Those are clients. So serving is everything. How you serve your children, serve your wife, serve yourself. So if you guys can just end, if we could end tonight with this, adopting the theory of serving is way different than selling, and embody that, everything is going to change in your organization. And as it changes, you all win. Because I believe all you owners, I'm guessing you would like the same thing that I like. And here's what I like. Ready? What I like is I like to build a big company, because I look at a company as I look at it as a big pie. What kind of cake do you like the best? And now it's late, so all of you are going to be mad because I got you thinking of cake. Is it chocolate cake? Is it apple pie? What is it? Tell me. Come on, leave me with that tonight. Oreo. Matt, Matt, we're not going to talk about the Oreo cake, Matt. Don't you dare bring that up, brother. All right, key lime pie. All right, chocolate. All right, so we're going to build, all of us together, all of you in your companies. We have one goal: to serve at the highest level, build the biggest cake. Because the bigger the cake, the bigger the what for everybody. Answer it in the chat bar. The bigger the cake, the bigger the slice. That's exactly what we're doing. Hey, everybody, it's been a complete honor to hang with you tonight. If you got a lot of value, can you type in the chat bar? I hope you guys will, if anybody's interested or you know any business owners, we'd love to help them. If you would invite them our way, you got all the trainings. My team will send you some stuff to follow up with you. If you're interested, if I can serve in any way, you let me know. It's 9:58. We're ending in my world. I'm going to consider it right on time, and I'm going to spend the next hour mapping out the rest of my plan for those of you tomorrow. But it's been an honor. I appreciate all of you. Have a great night. Boom.